with Örjan Nilsson, one of the top contenders from last year. So you've been kind of a top contender all the way through Gatebil events in general, but also in the GDS. But how does the car feel right now in 2018? You've had some practice laps, you've had qualifying. How does it feel?
The car feels really great. The car is running great, and I'm starting to feel comfortable. The track is pretty good, and yeah, we're feeling good.
And so you had qualifying yesterday, and how did that feel? You qualified, you had a pretty good first run, but then you took the top spot, #1 qualifier. How did that feel?
Oh, that was amazing. I was yelling in my car. It felt so good to finally get this here, and you know, after all these hours this winter, to get the top spot, it was amazing.
So, going up in qualifying, you are going to meet now Jim Olofsson, who qualified top 6 in the 16th place. So what's your strategy for tandem battles against him, a Swedish driver who has been running a long time?
I think my strategy will be to go all in. I know he's a great driver, and you know, I have to give it all. So my spotter will tell me how he drives, and then I think I will just have to give it all, really.
And where on this track do you think you're going to make or break? What's the hardest part on the track?
I think the hardest part is to get the lead line good. So I think my strategy would be to go all in and drive as I did in qualifying, try at least, get a good lead, and then hopefully I can give a good chase.
All right, good luck, and we'll see you out on track.
Thank you, man.
So, we're here with Jim Olofsson and his beautiful BMW E30, campaigning this chassis for quite some time now in different revisions. How does the car feel on this track in 2018?
It feels good. We have some problems that we don't have enough semi-slicks with us, so we are running street tires and we're saving the semi-slicks for the top 16.
Okay, so you qualified in top 16, you got into the 16th place, just made it. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. We had real struggle with the clutch feed because we lose oil all the time, so we have almost no clutch at all at the qualification. So we're glad that we're in the top 16 bracket.
And unfortunately, you're going to meet the top qualifier, Örjan Nilsson, who proved to be a real contender last year. What's your tactic going against him?
I'm going to do what I always do, aim for the door and just hang there all the time and try to do a clean lead run.
All right, good luck, and I'll see you at the track.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, welcome to Gatebil Drift Series. We're at Gatebil Våler, and I have the lovely Hunter Taylor with me. And so good to have you back.
I'm happy to be back, Dennis. This is great. I remember last year we had a great time, so I expect the same from you.
We'll see how that goes. So we're waiting for the cars on the start line. We're going to see Jim Olofsson and Örjan Nilsson for our first battle. But let's talk in the meantime, see what we can come up with. This track is super tricky. You've been driving all day. What do you have to say about it?
I have to say there's definitely a few spots where you can roll, you can go off, you can drop tire, you can rip your entire suspension off. But it's also pretty fun once you get it down. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot this weekend.
So I think we are gonna release the cars here very soon. And as you said, it's super tricky to get this course down, and especially the drifting section here is very, very tricky. So we'll see how the drivers do. Örjan Nilsson qualified first, and Jim Olofsson qualified 16th. Jim Olofsson right on the back end. Needs to catch up here to Örjan Nilsson. Oh, rips his bumpers off.
Goodbye bumper.
Loses some traction there. Örjan Nilsson runs away with it. Jim Olofsson plays catch up but can't quite get there. Woo! Huge angle. Oh! Fender cylinders flying everywhere.
The lead car definitely hit the clipping point and
Wow.
filled the zone, so that was good on his part. But
Wow.
yeah, chase car.
Crazy. I'll see if I can have a look at the replay here where it all goes wrong. Jim Olofsson gets into the whoop section here and hits Örjan on the way out, and then tries to play catch up all the way through. And I think he's just a little too hot coming into the last inside clip number 2 here, where he literally, I think he left all 4 wheels in the air coming out of that.
At least.
At least. At least. So let's not try that again, okay?
No. Now let's see how he can lead. Let's see if he can, improve if his car's okay. And
it's tricky because Jim Olofsson from Sweden, Örjan Nilsson from Norway, very 2 different cars and driving style. But Jim Olofsson has, I think he said he had 3 sets of R tires, like the grippy tire. So he's been driving on street tires all day. So he did 1 set before the competition just to adjust.
Oh, wow.
So it might be tricky for him now.
Yeah. This is going to test his actual driving skill right now.
Yes.
Sure.
And that's why maybe he felt that he kind of lost a little bit on Örjan. He wasn't quite prepared for that kind of speed. Then again, I should say that the lead car can't jump the line, which they can do in other series. They can't jump the gun, so they leave the line at the same time, which makes that very, very hard for the chase driver to keep up.
There's no chicane here.
There is a chicane, but it's still not enough.
Oh.
So we're going to have a restart.
There's a camera
We're going to have a little bit of a restart there. A cone got bumped. But that makes it very hard for the chase driver to catch up.
Okay.
So that might be the reason where Örjan might have more grip in the start line and manage to get away just enough, and then Jim has to play catch up, which is very tricky. So let's see, they're going to switch positions. Hopefully we'll see them run again.
I see smoke filling the air over there, doing the burnouts.
Someone is warming tires, but I think it might be someone else actually.
So I think it's the next group.
It might be. We are hearing from the speaker system here that Örjan Nilsson might be taking a 5-minute. So for you who do not know what a 5-minute is, that you have 5 minutes to fix your car if there is a technical problem, and you can use those 1 per event. If you have to use it in qualifying, you can't use it in tandem, which is it's a dire situation where you have to choose to do a 5-minute in qualifying, and then you're basically.
I mean, that's a last-minute decision.
Yes, it really is. Yeah. So going to take a 5-minute here in the early part of the tandems is not ideal, especially when you're the top qualifier and you have an advantage in your run. So that's unfortunate that Örjan has to take a 5-minute, but we'll move on.
I'm curious to know what happened. So if we can hear it, we'll let you guys know.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to do the next pair here. Andreas Övergård against Robin Alsaker. Robin Alsaker is following in that orange Supra. Andreas Övergård in that R33. Looks good, but Robin Alsaker loses speed here. About the same distance throughout the run, going outside zone 2 into the inside clip number 2 here. Late transition from Andreas, cutting out a little bit. It is quick when you're sitting up here.
Yeah, but that was a pretty soft initiation on the lead car's part
yes.
there. That was a little slow.
Could have been a little bit more aggressive, maybe.
Yeah, it looked a little, I don't know, unsure?
Maybe. But it's tricky having a car in front of you. You don't know where they're supposed to slow down.
No, I know.
But we have these diesel zones where in the initiation you're allowed to slow down, and then you are supposed to be on throttle for the rest of the part.
Yes, of course.
Which makes it easier, but still very unpredictable for the chase car driver to see where you're slowing down.
Drifting is unpredictable.
Yes, yes, in general. I think we are hearing that Jim Olofsson, driver from Sweden, is actually resigning from competition, which means that Örjan Nilsson moves on. So huge congratulations to Örjan Nilsson and his fans at home, but that sucks. We wanted to see the whole battle, but that's how drifting is.
Yes.
Moving on, we're going to do the second half of the battle between Andreas Övergård and Robin Alsaker. Robin Alsaker is leading now.
Initiation.
Flicking. Looks like a good initiation from Robin. Oh, goes off
No,
a little
that's dirt.
bit.
That's dirt. Okay,
Andreas
clipping.
putting on the pressure on Robin there.
There you go.
Andreas do not want to let him go. Let's see the transition inside clip number 2
Get
here.
in.
Oh, looking good.
A little bit of a bumper tap at the end there.
Yeah,
But
I think that
it's a friendly fire, I think.
and Andreas Övergård coming into this last inside clip number 2 here, he is noticeably slower on the transition, which actually did him good here. He could have made the transition snappy, but it would have lost distance to Robin, I think.
He did the right thing, I think.
But cutting a little bit of angle to keep up. But I think that Andreas did a good job throughout the run, keeping pace with Robin everywhere. And unfortunately, Robin dropped the tire, and that's going to be yes, it's going to be a small deduction,
Yes.
and we'll keep going. So we'll see who gets the win from this. Hard for us to see here where we see the results. We have the winner is Andreas Övergård in that R33. I think that's fair. He did a very good job chasing, kept the same distance, even though that Robin had a good chase run, a very consistent chase run in the first battle. I think that Andreas Övergård had more proximity and he just made it more exciting.
Of course.
I think that's
what's going to get you through.
yes, absolutely. So we have Örjan Nilsson here. I'm not sure
What's going on?
why he's going here.
Heading
Maybe he is doing a test run, or he is
They allow that?
needed to do like a buy run. I'm not sure.
Well, that would make sense if the other guy dropped out, but shouldn't he just move on?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, that's how it works in FD anyways.
Yeah, but we're at Gatebil now. This is very different. This is a crazy festival for every car lover in the world.
Yeah.
I've had a blast here. The weather has been almost too good.
This is California weather. I'm talking like, I don't know, 80?
Yeah, oh, way
80
above
degrees,
that.
85
Way above
Fahrenheit?
that. I had 89 when I went to bed.
Oh.
It was insane.
See, I'm used to this and everyone's complaining and I'm like, I like this.
All right, we're going to see a single run here from Örjan Nilsson.
Bye run.
Maybe testing out the car, see that it works, and apparently it does.
I see smoke, I see clouds, I see angles.
He's
So
very
yes,
smooth, very smooth.
quite lovely.
Riding that red limiter, beautiful.
That looked great.
And on that inside clip 2 here, closest to the finish line, you're actually not supposed to run the rumble strip.
Oh,
So where that cone is actually off track. And you're supposed to be on the
slightly,
asphalt.
right?
It's
just-
in the grass.
I see it from here. It's just slightly off track.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you run the rumble strip, you're going to get deduction. So
Okay.
you're supposed to be on the edge of the asphalt going on the rumble strip, which is very hard to do. Because it's much easier to get a reference point when you're riding the rumble strip. You know,
Yes.
okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be in practice or qualifying. But when you're supposed to be not on it, but close to it, that is tricky. That is really tricky.
Car placement, right?
Yeah, yes. So let's see if we can get our next pair out here. It's going to be Joachim Eidsmosan in an PS13 and Alvin Lägreid in a BMW 1 Series. And both these drivers had the silver PS13 had a little bit of an issue going practice with the last part of the course. He managed to fix that for qualifying,
Was
did a
this
good run.
yesterday?
Yes.
This was yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday, so he's actually filling me in. I was on track doing a photo shoot, but anyways, yeah. So
Brag
I'm learning this right now.
Brag about it.
Keep going. No, keep going.
So Joachim had this problem with the latter part of the course, but he managed to tidy it up to qualifying. And now it's going to be interesting to see how he does in tandem.
Yes.
Hopefully he has had a couple of practice runs here and made adjustments to it. But the make or break on this course is actually from the initiation, the first outer zone,
Right.
going into the whoop section. There is where the battle usually breaks down. because it's a very tricky part. You need a lot of speed to get into it, but you have to slow down just enough to not go off track going out of it.
Right.
And on top of that, you have a car in front of you.
Smoke.
Yes.
You know, of course, that's always, you know, you got to trust that you can go through that. You know where you are on the track.
Yeah, and it's very narrow.
Yeah.
This track is a very narrow
And
track
there's
in general.
a pretty big dip there.
Oh yeah,
It's like full suspension drop.
Yes,
So-
yes. If you're going fast and you're on the wrong end of that, you're gonna lose control.
For
So, so we're gonna see if we can do something about the information that we're getting from the judges tower.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can relay as much as possible and ask questions in the chat as much as you can. We'll try to answer them, maybe in chat, or you and I can answer them.
Yeah, I have it right here. You guys want to ask us any questions? You're curious? Just hit us up. Or Ansel.
I might not be able to actually answer stuff, but I'll try.
I'll try. That's like kind of my favorite part, actually.
Yeah. So we're sitting in this tent and have a view of this beautiful drift section. But I should say that if you want to drive at this track, the whole track is a phenomenal track to drive.
For sure. I really enjoy it.
The first sectors, 1 and 2, are great for racing, but for drifting, it's such a technical, fast track. And the latter part of the course is actually a little bit slower, but just as technical.
But I mean, fourth gear entry, easy.
Yeah, yes.
Easy.
Easy. So
Like
you
you're
can
flying, and then you have to check up, and then you're flying again, and then you're checking up, and you're flying. That's kind of the gist of it.
Yes. So let's see how the drivers do here. We're standing still on the start line. I don't know why yet. Let's see in my phone here if I can pull up some information. Not yet. So let's see where we go. We are on our third pair. This is our third battle. We're gonna have one more, and then we're going to do the other part of the ladder. So we're gonna see about 8 battles, hopefully all of them. And we saw only half the battle from Örjan Nilsson and Jim Olofsson, unfortunately. We're looking to see all the battles and going into the grade 8 final 4 and then to the final battle, and then it's done. This show shouldn't be longer than 2 hours, actually.
No, yeah, this is going to be short and sweet, but fun.
Yes.
Drifting's always fun. I mean, you're not doing what you're doing unless you're having fun.
No. And we had a lot of, I might be exaggerating this number. I think we were close to 70 drivers qualifying last year.
Wow.
I remember qualifying took a
sitting here
while.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I think
right.
we were at 3, almost 4 hours.
So did they cut that down for a reason?
Yes, the only invited drivers are here, and so let's see. We're gonna let them go here. Joachim Eismussen, huge separation at the start
Already.
here. That's gonna be tricky for Alvin to keep up here.
Yeah, he's trying his
going
hardest.
very fast.
Come on.
Compromising a lot to get to Joachim. Joachim just running away with it. Looking beautiful.
Yeah.
I should say that he has really picked up his game since yesterday.
I mean, that was pretty fluid.
Great stuff. It was a good run, but still, that separation is not going to be good for you. I see Jim Olofsson walking in the pits here looking frustrated. That's always a bummer. But it is drifting, and I know that he's a super chill guy.
Oh, Arnold's awesome
He's
as well.
just doesn't care that much. So I think he'll be fine. So about that battle, I think that the start line is a problem, actually. Leaving the start line at the same time.
It really seems like it. Everyone so far has had issues.
It's a bit of a drag race.
Fill us in why there might be an issue, Dennis?
I think it just has to do with when you're leaving the line at the same time and the chase driver can't jump it, you're gonna be left behind. The margins are so small in this sport, and also the run-up is so short.
It really is, but they changed that for a good reason. Here they go again.
Yes.
Arnold's leading now.
Let's see what Joachim can do in the chase position here. You're supposed to run a qualifying line as a lead car.
And he straightened up super hard.
Yes, that does not look good.
As long as Arnold can hold it together, he'll move on, I think.
Oh, huge tension. Where is Joachim? Oh, he's behind him.
Lost in the smoke.
Oh, that car might not be running well. Joachim's PS13 sounded a little bit weird there on the end. But
I heard that.
Alvin had a great lead run, I would say. It looked
great.
very good. I don't see any problems with that. It might be that we see Joachim Eismusand trying to catch up, but it's just not enough.
Hi, Mom. You just said hello in the chat, so hi.
Hi, Mama Taylor.
Sure. And then someone asked me if I'm bringing my car to ACR. I'm trying to. That's, what, an 11-hour drive from below Oslo. So if I can find someone who's willing to throw that on the trailer and get her up there, yes, I will take it. As of right now, no. I wish. I heard it's a wonderful, beautiful track, Arctic Circle Raceway, Summerfest. We'll see.
We have the winner. Alvin Lägreid goes on to the top 8. Alvin in that blue BMW 1 Series. So that hiccup from Joachim in the PS13, probably here at the start of the track, was enough to kick him out.
Yeah.
All right. We have a solo run here from Odd Helge Helstad. Also a prodigy in the Norwegian drift community.
A little bit of dirt coming up there.
Super good driver. He's very talented. Loved watching that guy. Just a happy guy in general. His dad has this habit of, we sat him at Mantorp, and his dad is just, he has his nerves outside his skin, I think. He's so nervous. He's so nervous. So I sat next to him, and he grabs my arm so hard when his son is riding on the track.
That's cute.
I almost had bruises after that. Okay, let's see. We have a new pair here. This is the other part of the ladder, Markus Furberg against Øyvind Bogen. Markus Furberg impressed a lot qualifying within the top 5 with a very aggressive type of driving.
And they're off. This looks like a much better start.
Well, yes, it really does.
Yeah.
Good on them. Markus Furberg out in front in that Toyota Supra. Aggressive driving. Leaves Øyvind a little bit behind, but he catches up quick. Øyvind is on fire for this. Weird line there by both drivers. Oh,
and it's spun. Oh.
We'll see who's at fault for this, but I think that Øyvind is going to be deemed fault, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that's not a...
It's not a decel zone.
Not a decel zone.
You're not supposed to slow down, and I can't see how Markus would have made Øyvind spin.
No, he continued through there.
I think that...
For sure.
His line was a little bit off, maybe, but I still don't think
that's a reason.
No. Looks like on the replay as well.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll see what they say. We're going to have them switch places and go at it again.
I have a little bit of a question. Why isn't Frederick driving in this? Well, you know, is that really fair if he drives with these guys? Come on, let them win. No, I'm kidding. Not really, but...
No, Frederick wants to keep out of the positions. He's actually a announcer sometimes on these.
He actually should be announcing right now.
Yes.
Oh, and they're off.
And here we go again. Øyvind Bogen out in front. Let's see what he can do now. Bit of a shaky initiation there by the lead car into the whoop section. Oh!
Catching up. Oh, falls
to go
behind.
Off track there. Markus is off track. And that's going to cost him a lot. He had a very strong run there out in front, but off track again.
Pushing so hard. Pushing so hard to catch up.
That's the double-edged sword of having aggressive driving, is that it looks fantastic when you get it together, but the risks are pretty big.
Sure.
So he falls behind here into the inside clip number 1, and out to the outside zone 2. He's just pushing it hard to get close to Øyvind, but doesn't really get there. And into the smoke here, late transition, way offline. It's unfortunate for Markus.
I mean, you can definitely tell these guys are truly giving it their all, though.
Yeah.
The spirit of drifting is among us.
Yes. I would think that Øyvind Bogen moves on.
Dennis, you have a question. Who do you think is going to be in the final?
Who I think is going to be in the finals?
If you could predict this.
I would say Örjan Nilsson is the top contender.
Looks like they're all in T.
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
I think we're going to go one more run and not one more time.
What difference between?
One more time is you do the battle.
Right, the full thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So this
and
is just
one more run is just they get one more run, and I think the highest qualifier
Excuse
gets
my
to
ignorance.
choose. We're going to do another pair in the meantime. Petter Lauvås and Rasmus Müller. Rasmus Müller closing in, cutting angle a little bit to try to keep up to Petter. Petter is just running away with it. Oh, Rasmus with a spin.
Yep. He's out.
Oh, that is
Hitting the dirt for the lead car.
Oh, he is way off track, Petter. Slow transition here.
And doesn't make it out to the last outside clip.
No, I think
So-
that we have an incomplete from the chase car,
Yes.
but we have just a big deduction from the lead car. So I think in this case, lead car is in a advantage.
I mean,
So
not much of an advantage, but yes. Yes.
Still.
Advantage is an advantage.
He has a complete run at least.
Point.
Rasmus is going to have an incomplete, which is basically 0. So that's going to be tough, and he now has to push Petter to a mistake.
I'd say go out sparkling and just get right on his door.
That's probably the only way to do it, actually. It's the only way you can push
I may
a
have
driver.
spun, but here I am.
Yes, yes. I mean, at this point, you don't have much to lose.
No, but point.
It's, I think that's the right way to go. We have some housekeeping to do on track.
A little bit of cleaning, a little bit of dirt, gravel.
I'm trying to get my
I
water
mean,
on.
I would know what that tastes like. I think I did a little bit of rally earlier
Yeah,
today.
that's right. Tell
on
me about
accident.
that. Tell me about that.
Well, so I was asking a good friend, what should I do to actually initiate into the chicane here? Well, he was like, fourth gear, clutch kick. I was like, okay. So I tested that.
And how did that go?
I tested that, and I clutch kicked way too late, boosted way too much, came out flying. I mean, it looked cool, but I ended up backwards in the kitty litter, probably a foot or two from the wall. And I had a good friend, Mark Dick, with me, and I was really happy, but we were giggling, laughing. Oh, that was fun, and we were covered in dirt. I think I still have dirt on me. But
Yeah,
I learned a lesson.
I sat with you in the passenger seat, and it's dirty. It's real dirty.
I have a little bit of housekeeping to do. I do.
I think you're fine though, and fortunately nothing broke on your car, so
Nope.
you got back on
Car
track.
is good. I'm good. I learned from this experience. I mean, I think you have to go off track. You have to crash
Yes.
to learn.
Yes.
It's the only way.
It's not optimal, but it's pretty much the fastest way.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times has Frederick crashed to get where he is?
Yes.
You know, in horseback riding, I was told you have to fall off 1,000 times to be a good rider.
Yeah.
So maybe that applies not 1,000 times, but I'm exaggerating, of course. But gotta
But
crash.
I think it's they always say that if you don't push the limits, you're not going to learn enough.
Point.
So yeah, we'll see.
And they're off.
All right, we're doing the second half of the battle. Rasmus is leading. Rasmus from Sweden,
Big
Petter
gap
from Norway.
here.
Huge gap, but I think that Petter has a faster car. He's gonna pick this up, I think.
I think he can do it. But
Let's see how that goes in the slower sections here. Oh, a bit of slow transition here from Petter.
both super slow.
Falling back a little bit, can't really put it together.
Now, something sounds off with that lead car.
Yeah, he usually bangs the rev limiter a lot, but we'll see. Maybe
Okay.
something is a little bit off, I would say. Regardless, the lead run from Rasmus, I'd say it looked not perfect, but it looked very good.
Slow, but he hit the points that he was supposed to hit,
Yes.
technically speaking.
And Petter could not keep up,
No.
which was a bit of a
Is he
surprise to me.
down on power, or
I don't
what's
think
going
so.
on there?
I think it's just that there was a little bit of a gap in the beginning, and that was
That's
it.
where he was lost.
I
Okay,
think so. I think so.
for sure.
Let's see what we have on the start line next.
Warming up the tires over there. Just
think
pulling
that
up to the start line right now.
I think we got a win from Petter Lauvås, the R34. The R34, Petter Lauvås, moves on to the grade 8.
Fair enough.
And is that because of the Rasmus Müller had an incomplete? And that's
Yes, that is why.
Let's see here.
And I hear his fan section just going crazy over there.
Yes.
They're pretty far away. They're really going for it.
Let's see if I can do some...
I see the track cleaner heading out as well, so maybe there's a little dirt, gravel. Give us a second here.
We're going to go to a commercial break while we wait for the track sweeping, so we'll be back in a bit.
See ya.
So we're back, and we're still doing the housekeeping here, but we should be done in a minute. And we have 2 battles left. So we have Tony Averstedt against Emil André Bogen, and we have Joachim Jonsson against Kim Fors. Kim Fors, who surprised us yesterday. I spoke to him at the drivers' meeting, and he said, yeah, we have some issues with our cooling system for the supercharger.
Okay.
So I haven't really gotten into driving much. And I was like, okay, how many laps have you done? He's like, 1. Oh, okay, and you're going straight to qualifying. He's like, yeah, I can't risk the car before qualifying. So he went out with 1 lap in his back, and he qualified 11th out of 27 drivers.
I mean, to even qualify alone, having 1 lap on this track?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, and he's very praised in Sweden for being a very good driver, very consistent. He's fast as heck.
Sounds like he learns quickly.
Yes, but the problem here is that he is plagued by mechanical issues and have been for years. There's always something with his car.
Those engine gremlins, we call them.
Everything. He has had everything from the engine to actually suspension stuff. So everything. He's like one track, one competition he's doing great, and just before qualifying he breaks a steering arm. Or just before tandems he breaks a back tie rod or whatever. It's like those
like
weirdest things.
Super random.
And now the cooling to the supercharger.
So this battle just got on.
Yes, we're letting on Tony Averstedt and Emil André Bogen.
And the initiation,
Tony Averstedt, 2
nice
Supras.
initiation, fast initiation.
Tony Averstedt pulling away a little bit. Could have had a little more angle in the inside clip number 2. Filling
sure.
outside zone 2 just a little bit there. But Emil Andreas is keeping up. But still very good.
Looks good on there.
Tony Averstedt is a Swedish driver who has been kind of a low-key driver last year. He didn't improve. He didn't make much noise. But first event in Sweden this year, he really stepped it up. And since then, he's been on this roll, and that's Supra with an Audi engine, actually. So it's a turbo 5-cylinder in that.
Really?
Very interesting build.
Okay, I have to take a peek at that. I'm curious.
Yes, and it's he's really been improving, and now he qualified 3rd, which is insane on his first run, actually. So 86 points, I think.
Been practicing.
Yes, he's been driving. He said that he'd been going through some ice driving. He actually
Wonderful practice.
He has been burning out 12 sets of ice racing tires.
Oh,
which
that's expensive.
You don't actually do that a lot.
No,
they
that's
don't,
hard to do.
Yeah, they
That's
don't wear
very hard
a
to do.
lot. So he's been very active driving on the
Great.
lakes.
Well, it definitely shows.
It paid dividends.
Yeah.
Huge dividends. So I'm super excited to see what he can do the rest of the year here.
right.
Switching places, Emil André Bogen is leading, Tony Averstedt following. Let's see if Tony can, going a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Has to cut the line there a little bit to be able to miss Emil out in front. Needs to play
Falling
catch up here.
back, catching up.
Tricky to do that. Loses a bit of a speed there. Ooh, that is a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, they were both kind of...
I'd say I should point this out as well, because when you're judging now here at Gatebil Drift Series, the judges don't want to see you necessarily driving away from the chase car. If you're in the lead position, you're not supposed to run away. You're supposed to make it easy for the car behind you by running as wide and as good as possible.
Of course.
And which is going to make it easier to judge who is actually better. So your lead run is actually heavily emphasized.
And I think that's fair.
Yes, I think that's much better than
much
previous years we have done other competitions in Scandinavia. So,
what is the other way that you do it normally?
let's say normally...
Here, I mean, I know FD rules.
Yes.
But this is a different game for me.
Yes.
So I'm learning here.
So it's been kind of a playing catch almost. Like the driver out in front might cut down a little bit on angle to be faster, but that's not what the judges want to see. They don't care about the speed anymore.
And speed, it should never be about speed.
No, exactly. So Tony Averstedt in that red Audi 5 Supra moves on to the Grade 8.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Supra.
And I have another Swedish driver up in the ladder now. Let's see here. Averstedt.
This battle is just taking off from the start line.
And Marcus Furberg and Øyvind Bogen. Oh, that initiation by Øyvind Bogen really wants to push Marcus into a mistake here. This is the one more run we saw, and this is one more chance for these guys to prove who is better.
I mean,
Marcus doing a great job out in front. Great job out in front. Huge angle, pouring it on. And this is
no!
Øyvind shutting it down just before the finish line.
Oof.
Let's see where we were. Let's see. But this is why I said that I'm impressed with Marcus Furberg, especially in the latter part of the course. He pours on so much angle. He's on throttle all the time, just pouring out smoke.
That commitment.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's also fast, which makes it even more exciting.
Totally.
So let's see where we go with the decision on this. And the one more run concept is actually taken from some series in Europe. The British and Irish Drift Championships does this. Very good, very fast. It just makes for a better show, and it raises the stakes. You have one chance, not two.
Exactly.
So you really gotta pick your poison there if you want to
take this to the States.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think they're in talks maybe.
5 minutes?
5 minutes for Bogen.
There is a 5 minute.
Does that mean we're gonna see a one more time? That was not a one more run. I think so too. This might be a one more time then. They might run two battles.
What is the reason for that?
They set those rules. They set them before the event.
Okay.
And they have drivers meeting where they have opportunity to give feedback. So that might get changed actually. Maybe not for this event, but for next event.
Okay.
Still, I'd say the one more run thing is a very interesting concept nevertheless, because as the higher qualifying driver, you can choose if you want to lead or chase. So out of 3 battles, you lead possibly 2 of them. and you have to focus, where am I best? Am I best in the lead position or the chase position? And you have to make that choice for that third battle, the one more run. Okay, where am I strongest?
Interesting concept. It's kind of cool.
I love that stuff because
Yeah, I think
I'm a
it's
strategy guy, I'm a racecraft guy, I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff. So for me, that's like, that's awesome. Now you got to make a strategic choice. Where are your strengths? You got to play to your strengths or to the opponent's like weaknesses.
Yep.
If you know he's
him,
slower.
right?
Yes.
You know him, you're like, I got you, dude.
Yes.
I get you here.
Yeah, and you have 2 runs to kind of figure that out as well. Like, okay, I'm faster here, he's slower there, and your spotter tells you some information there, and you can make a decision. I love it. I love the racecraft stuff. And I didn't think, when I started with drifting, I was like, it's drifting, there's no racecraft, you don't have time to do that. But now, like, oh.
You do.
So, see if we can move on with the battle here. This is Joachim Jonsson and Kim Fors, Norway versus Sweden. Joachim Jonsson in that BMW, wow, he is picking up speed. He was super fast in qualifying, but he also lost a lot of
Wasn't
momentum.
a lot of angle on that clip.
But this looks
But this
fantastic.
looks great.
Phenomenal run out in front by Joachim Jonsson.
Very fluid.
I dare to say, fastest, most aggressive run we've seen today. I
mean,
absolutely think that.
smoky, fluidity. It looks like a lot of commitment going on. Filling the zones.
And just pouring that speed on, like carrying so much speed into the transition into inside clip number 1.
Do you think he was sacrificing a little bit of angle for that speed?
No, I don't think so, because he had a lot of angle coming into that. The part
Oh yeah,
where,
the initiation, yes.
yes,
Yes,
and
I'm talking about
going out of the inside clip,
Okay.
number 1, he might have shallowed up just a little bit.
That's what I saw.
So that might be a way that he can maybe run away from the chase driver in the outside zone number 2.
Right.
Then again, I don't think it's that much.
Okay.
And now we'll see they change places here, and Kim Fors has to do a phenomenal lead run to be able to shake this.
So far, it's a good start.
Very tight. Joachim Jonsson doesn't want to let go.
On the
He's too
door,
tight.
falls
Needs to back
no.
off. Oh!
And I see suspension flying.
That is not good for Kim Fors. Woo. Wow. That is unfortunate. Now I hear Fredrik Asbjørn on the PA system, actually.
Yeah, he has arrived.
So looking at the replay here, Joachim Jonsson might have tapped him actually to go off track. I'm not sure
did he
that's.
push him?
I'm not sure that's the reason, but
Okay.
it might be.
Do we have that camera angle?
We can see if we can run. What I see on the replay is that it looks like they're touching, but it might be that Joachim Jonsson is just backing off, like braking,
I think
and that's why
so.
they have separation. Didn't
Yeah.
look like they hit him, but at this point, at this distance, it's hard to tell.
But you remember our track walk last night?
Yes.
That dip right there?
Yeah.
He hit that dip.
Yes.
And that is a big dip. No wonder that tire just...
Yeah. It's very deep in the sand there. I'm happy that he didn't flip.
Oh, me too. At that speed, he totally could have.
Yeah. I think he lifted 3 wheels.
Oh, easy. I mean, he's backwards on the track right now.
Yeah, that is. Let's see if the replay here. So we can see what happens. It goes off track. Oh, lifts up a lot. I can't see if it hits him. That's tricky.
We'll have to see what the judges can see.
The judges have another angle that we do.
Exactly.
So most likely they'll see who's at fault. But then again, at this point, Kim might not get his car done it anyway. And this was the last part of the battle anyway, so it might not.
The BMW looked excellent.
Yeah.
Really looked excellent. So.
I think that Joachim Jonsson is going to move on. We are hearing now that Øyvind Bogen in the blue and white S15, who was up against the white and black Supra of Markus Furberg, is resigning from competition. So Marcus is moving on.
So Marcus is now against
Petter Lauvås in that R34, the red R34.
Right, yes.
Very interesting matchup there. And I would say that Kim Fors is out of this battle, and Joachim Jonsson moves on.
Yeah, so it might be a little bit to get the car off the track here.
So I think that we might cut to commercial here and be back in a couple of minutes.
See you soon.
So we're trying to tow away Kim Fors's car, and hopefully the damage is not too severe.
I mean, that was
But it
pretty
looked
quick.
it looked
getting
pretty
off the track.
bad though. It looked pretty bad.
Yeah, but Gatebil is so quick getting cars
Yeah.
off the track.
Yes.
Especially with what just happened. I'm really impressed by that.
After 25 years of Gatebil, this is actually the 25th year.
That's as old as I am.
That's an anniversary year.
Oh boy.
So they've learned a lot
Yeah.
during those years
you
of
would
towing
think.
cars. We had a number of cars going off track during this event only. So I think they learned a thing or two. But that is very unfortunate. But then again, it is drifting. It happens, and either it's a mistake from Kim Fors's part, going too fast into the outside zone number 1,
Or something failed.
or something failed, and the third option is that Joachim Jonsson pushed him. But
Right, and we're still waiting to hear anything about that.
I haven't heard anything yet,
Yeah.
but I would assume that Joachim Jonsson moves on. Let's see if we can have a any questions in the chat, or
Yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything you want to ask us? You're curious about?
or just, you know, you could just flatter us with comments about how great we look.
I mean,
or,
I'll
you
take
know,
compliments. I'm very sarcastic, mind you.
You say that, but I'm kidding. Looking to move on here into the top 8, the grade 8, where we're going to see Örjan Nilsson in his Toyota Soarer versus Andreas Övergård in his R33, Alvin Lägreid in his BMW 1 Series, and Odd Helge Hellstad in his S14.5. Marcus Furberg in that white and black Supra against Petter Lavos in that R34, and Tony Averstedt against whoever the winner of this battle is, Kim Fors or Joachim Jonsson. We'll see what that
That's
is.
exciting.
We'll see. There are a lot of drivers who have potential of taking the top spot, actually. I can't really decide. Yes, Örjan Nilsson is a favorite. Odd Helge Hellstad is also a favorite. But at this point, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
We have so many talented
suspense.
drivers. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The sun is shining. People are just out having fun. I think we saw the sunset at about 9 yesterday, like starting to set.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't dark until like
fully
midnight.
set, yeah, fully set maybe 12:30. It is crazy how
Definitely not used to that.
good. No.
No. Still throws me off. I don't know if I'll ever be used to it.
It's hard to sleep with that.
It really is.
Okay, we're hearing Joachim Jonsson moves on. Kim Forsch, who had the accident, is going to be knocked out of competition. And Joachim Jonsson in that gray BMW E92 moves on. That means that we are in grade 8. Finally. Wonderful. We have 4 pairs of cars running against each other. And I'm going to see if we can make something spectacular out of this. We have...
I spotted a Henrik Ule shooting some photos.
Yes. We have a lot of friends here who are all like picking the... what should you say? How do you say that in English? You're all pulling straws to the stack, right? If you're all helping out. We're all helping out with photographers all over the world, sharing this event. We're doing the live stream. We have drivers from all over the world here.
Representing California.
Just doing the Gatebil events,
Totally.
just helping to make it bigger and better every year. And that shows in the numbers of attendees and also the cars here. So Voller is the smaller event, and we usually don't have a lot of cars here, but it is packed in the pits.
Yeah, for sure. And Friday was slow, and then today, boom. It was like everyone just swarmed in.
I actually forgot, when I walked out of the hotel in the morning, I actually forgot that the event is open to the public. So when I walked out of the room, I'm like, wow, there are a lot of cars. Oh, right. There are other people who are going to be here too. Because it was so calm this Friday. It was very calm. I didn't think that anyone was here. It was only the pits. But now it's packed, and it's beautiful to see. We have people all over the track, all around the last corner here of Vollerbanan, packed with people.
You know what's really cool is when I'm at FD events and people are coming up to me, hey Hunter, blah, 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 they're like, Gatebil, what is that? And, these are fans, drivers alike, and they're really curious, and I have a lot of people just messaging me, I want to come, I'm coming.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let them come.
I know, and I'm, by all means, open arms. It's great.
It's fantastic to have all the drivers here. All right, so we're getting Marcus Furberg on the line. Is that a solo run? This should be the run that is from the top 16.
Is he just straight line driving?
Might be just to get through the course.
Okay. Testing the car?
No.
That car's so beautiful when it comes out of this whoop section. You see it, the car just flats out and it turns. It's beautiful. I love this angle.
Schooling, it sounds.
All right, guys, at home, don't forget to share the stream. Super important that we get your views and your friends' views. Tell your mom, your grandma, whoever it is. Tell them to watch the stream so we get bigger and better every year. And super important to let everyone know that this event is happening. And if you're unfortunately not here, you can at least experience it through your phone or your computer.
And it's cool to have these drivers get that coverage too and get their name out there.
Yeah.
Because they are the upcoming face of drifting.
Yeah, they're literally the future of drifting.
Yeah, literally.
Especially this guy who's on the start line now, this young kid, Örjan Nilsson, who
he's a great kid,
comes in and takes the top spot in qualifying, just has a blast here. I talked to him earlier in one of our interviews. He said that it's a totally new car for him. He's switched out the whole front end.
Yep.
There's a lot to learn this event, and to do a qualifying #1, that's pretty good, I'd say.
And his new setup looks great too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proud of him.
Let's see what he can campaign in the next coming seasons here. I want to see him in a new chassis.
Yeah.
He's been running this car for quite some time.
Definitely a challenge to switch, but
yeah, that's why most people stick to it. Yep. I think they don't want to.
And there he goes.
And this might be a solo run for Örjan Nilsson. Andreas Öfvergård not coming to the start line. Riding on the front brakes a little bit. Beautiful. Looks good. Ooh.
A little bit of wavering there.
Oh,
that was beautiful transition. Wow.
And that's where his strength on this course is actually coming into the inside clip number 1,
Okay.
the whoop section, and then coming to the second inside clip here, the second kind of whoop section, is that's where he plays to his strengths, because his transitions are very fast and very aggressive. It makes it hard to follow.
Right.
And he can carry a lot of speed. Although he cut the inside clip number 2 here on the latter part of the course, he's not supposed to be there. He needs to come out a little bit.
Okay.
And we have, I think his spotter is Andreas Lene.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes,
Okay.
also a phenomenal driver who I've only gotten to know through the internet. We met the first time today, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I thought you guys actually knew each other.
No,
Okay.
we've drifted on the internet sometime.
Funny.
Yeah, I saw him last year driving with Fredrik a lot, so it's interesting. Next battle, Odd Helge Hellstad against Alvin Lägred. Alvin Lägred, narrowly misses Odd Helge, but
Falling
has to
back.
straighten up there, and he's gonna.
Cutting the course. Couldn't get back on that door.
That is a stressful position to be in. Alvin Lägred not getting where he wants to be. Slow transition there by Odd. That is unfortunate. Bless you.
Thank you. Tried to get away from the mic on that one.
That is unfortunate. Where this is where we see the run started to fall apart in the beginning, and it's so hard to catch up.
I mean, that entry must just be hard. I mean, it's difficult just to be the lead car.
Yes, and the drivers were told by the judges to actually slow down the initiation. So yes, they're going too fast.
Okay.
So they said, slow down just a little bit and you'll be able to make the course a lot better. And the drivers made adjustments, and here is where we see a receipt of that, is where Alvin came in too hot,
Yes.
has to narrowly avoid a crash, which makes him brake, lose momentum, and he can't get the car to drift, so he runs straight for quite some time.
Here's
So,
a second version of their run.
let's see what Old Helge Hellstad. Now he doesn't need to be on Alvin's door here, but I would recommend it. Old Helge falling back just a little bit. Alvin looking strong out in front.
Alvin looks really good so far.
But is it going to be enough?
I mean, I think he came up a little short on the last outside clip.
He might have, but I don't think that's going to matter much, because I would assume that the judges think that his first run is an incomplete because of the straightening into the inside clip number 1. Might be that. So that's going to be tricky coming out of. But he does a great job out in front. Beautiful transitions, looks smooth. I think he even taps the wall on the end here, actually, going out.
Did he? I wish you could see it.
It's, we can see just when they passes us here.
Yeah, it's like you can tell if they're not quite in that zone,
Yeah.
but you can't see if they hit the wall or not.
No,
so.
exactly. Let's hear it. Odd Helge Hellstad moves on in that S14, the red and white and black S14. Huge congratulations to Odd Helge Hellstad. Well-deserved battle, kept it nice, consistent, and moves on. And next battle, Marcus Furberg against Petter Lauvås. And looking good proximity there. Needs a little bit of smoothness to Petter. He had a little bit of a hiccup, but pushing on here. Oh, slows down just a little bit on the outside zone, number 2.
Allowing that chase car to catch up.
Oh, slow transition by. I said it was a slow transition, but it was not. It was a late transition by Marcus, and I think he managed that perfectly. It was a very hard car to follow. Let's see on the replay here if we can see something. Petter just falling back just a little bit, and here we see a little bit of a slowdown from Marcus, and Petter has to adjust to that, but does a great job keeping on, I'd say, decent distance, decent proximity, but nothing too exciting. You don't want to leave this in the judge's hands too much.
Right.
Which is actually virtually impossible at this track, but there are so many sections where you can mess up. And the smallest mistake here, you can't really make that up unfortunately. It's very hard to make up for a mistake you make
And
earlier.
I think we've been seeing that today.
Yes,
for sure.
yes. There are a lot of tracks where you can make a mistake and you can actually catch up, but here is like one and you're done. Petter Lavos in front, Marcus Fuberg out in back. Oh, cutting a lot of angle there, Marcus, to catch up. That did not look favorable for him.
Didn't pay off. Lead car going in the dirt.
Going off track is Petter. Marcus has to adjust for that. Huge mistakes by both drivers. And the initiation here, Petter does a decent job, but Marcus is just very late on everything and doesn't have the angle to match that. But here in the outside zone number 2, Petter goes off track. I think both wheels are off track and Marcus has to actually stop drifting for a second there and get on it again. I think that Marcus Fuberg is going to move on. Marcus Fuberg moves on. And next battle is Tony Averstedt, the Swedish driver, against Joachim Jonsson. We have one Swedish driver of all the Norwegians here now, so come on, buddy, you can do it.
Under your breath.
But I'm not too worried. He's proved very consistent here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then again, Joachim Jonsson is probably one of the fastest drivers we've seen at Gatebil Drift Series this weekend. And
I'm definitely impressed.
We'll see how Tony can match that. Cleaning up the track just a little bit here from Petter's harvesting fair. Let's see where we go with this. So, don't forget to share the stream, everybody. If you're in here, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your worst enemy. I mean,
you got to keep your enemies close, right?
So tell everyone, share the stream on Facebook, hit that like button on Drift Zone Facebook page. I feel like a YouTuber. Slap that like button.
Well, not even the like button, hit the heart button.
Yes.
Love this.
Yes.
It's drifting. If you're a drift fan, love that. Love this track.
We got to break up all the bad stuff of regular racing, but it's just people with ties and being nicely clothed, and it's all meh, 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 meh. Let's break that up. Push drifting to become the biggest sport in the world, and let's have this huge unending party every single event.
Personally, I think Formula One is boring.
Now you just made a lot of enemies.
Now, I was being a little exaggerating there. It's not boring, but it's just got this whole different feel.
Yes.
And personally, I'd rather be here, dirty, wearing my suit, walking around the pits, seeing my friends, and really enjoying going sideways.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I would dare to say that it's actually, drifting is the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
I think I've actually heard Frederick say that.
I think it is. So let's see if we can move on to the next battle here. Looks like we are done sweeping the track. And we're off. Tony Averstedt from Sweden is going to lead, and Joachim Jonsson is going to chase. Huge separation.
Oh, what happened there?
Wow, here I thought Joachim Jonsson was going to be the faster of these drivers.
Did we talk him up too much?
Maybe there's a mistake from Joachim Jonsson, missed a gear or something.
Maybe.
But Tony Averstedt just pouring it on here, running away almost. But Joachim Jonsson catching up in the latter part of the track here.
All right, caught up at the end.
Very much impressed by Tony's driving out in front.
Yeah.
Not seen anyone leave Joachim Jonsson like that before. Coming into the outside zone number 2, Joachim Jonsson starts to reel him in, and by the inside clip number 2 here, he's almost right beside him. But I think that is too late. Unless Tony makes a huge mistake now, maybe, just maybe, Tony Averstedt can make a mistake early on, and it's the same gap. That might give Joachim Jonsson a chance to move on from this battle. Other than that, I think it's going to be a tough one.
I don't want to jinx it, to be quite honest, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Just say every bad thing that ever could happen, maybe it happens.
Here we go.
Joachim Jonsson, early initiation, right before the 2 cones there. Good to see a lot of commitment here from Joachim Jonsson, Tony Alverstedt falling back, going off track.
No.
Joachim
that was 2 tires
Jonsson.
off.
His spotter must be very happy now. That is exactly what Joachim Jonsson wanted to provoke Tony to do.
Yep. Waiting for that.
And he managed to do it. But very late or early initiation by Joachim Jonsson. You're supposed to do, there are cones on the track, the initiation, and you are supposed to initiate at the last cones there. We're hearing that Joachim Jonsson actually moves on from
great.
Tony Alverstedt.
Great for him.
And the last cone there is that you have to initiate by those,
Okay.
or you're too late. But Joachim Jonsson did it by the cone before that. So that shows commitment.
Totally.
So that's very, very exciting to see. Joachim Jonsson moves on. He's going to meet Marcus Furberg in the, let's see, final 4. All right. So we have 2 pairs left. Nilsson versus Helstad and Furberg versus Jonsson. Strengths here at Gatebil, so we might skip that battle and just do the finals.
Okay.
We'll see how that progresses. If there's time, we'll run it. If not, because we have to tend to other drivers who are on this event driving for other series and other
Understood.
kind of other schedules, so we have to tend to those as well.
Got it.
We don't want what is it, Atlanta, who has a track limit of, I think it's like 11 or 12 in the morning. I think 11 or 12 in the evening, let's say, and it's a hard limit. So you can't go beyond that.
And that's a night race.
That is a night race.
Yeah.
And that has been a problem before.
It has, but it's also one of my favorite events out of, I think, all of the events.
I had the opportunity to go to Atlanta with Henrik, one of our mutual friends here.
You didn't take it.
No, I couldn't.
I'm so disappointed. I know, you weren't there. I
It
missed you.
sucks because I have been to Long Beach,
Yes.
Irvingdale, and Atlanta is the last track I want to be to. Maybe
It's a party.
Evergreen is also beautiful. I love that track.
Yeah.
But Atlanta, there's something special with that. It's a very special track. They made a custom layout for drifting, that keyhole, and it's just.
We chucked out. They chucked out so many good battles the last round. I was just screaming.
And I think it was Kristaps Blush on the top spot. Never happened before.
And you know what? It was the first time I think he's ever beat Osbo.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got chills. Just
I
hearing
actually
that.
did too.
Wow, that's weird. That is weird.
Big congratulations to him again.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
Did you see
freaking
what?
deserves it.
Did you hear him when he did the interview? He yelled like crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? He's allowed to do whatever he wants at this point.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to battle. Örjan Nilsson versus Odd Helge Helstad. These are one of the top contenders in this series and at Gatebil events. And I think that Odd Helge is having a lot of problem with Örjan's driving. This is tricky for Odd Helge, who dominated last year. Wow, he can't keep up.
No, and he tried.
Wow.
He really tried.
He poured them. He reeled them in at the latter part of the course, but that's not going to be enough.
No.
He had to cut a lot of angle to gain speed, and it just.
Sacrifices.
Wow, that is. I've never seen Odd Helge Helstad as out of shape as he has been this event. It's very uncharacteristic from him, because the other events I've seen him at, he's just killing it. Every single run is so consistent, aggressive, it's so fast. You can visually see he's a lot faster than the other drivers. But now, as we move up in the levels of drifting, everybody caught up. So I think that's the problem. Everybody caught up, and now we're at the same level. And here Örjan just pulls out everything and drives away from him.
I mean, that's great though. It adds for more intense battles.
Yeah.
And it gives someone else a chance to shine.
Yes, yes. That's why F1 is so boring a couple of years, because someone dominates the whole season.
Here they go again.
No one wants to see that. So, Odd Helge Helstad out in front, Örjan Nilsson in back, chasing, does a phenomenal job going into the inside clip number 1 there. Keeping his distance, I think he's going to close the gap
Looking
now.
good.
In the outside zone number 2, and he does. Here's where you can pour it on. let him go for the transition here. Oh no, huge separation. Catching up.
A little bit of loss in the smoke, maybe.
I wonder what happened in the inside clip going into the inside clip number 2. Let's see here, tight on the initiation, looks good all the way through. Here he lets him go for the transition, closes up, and here's where he needs to close the door and does that beautifully. And here I thought he was going to keep that distance, but he did not. Falls back here and has to shell up just a little bit on line to keep getting in. Örjan Nilsson moves on. Örjan Nilsson moves on.
Apparently it wasn't that big of a deficit to him.
Absolutely not. Fantastic battle done by Örjan Nilsson and all the Helge
We
Hellstad.
got 2 more, or 1 more, excuse me.
One more battle.
Yes.
Now I gotta sneeze.
Oh. Bless you, Denise.
Thank you.
Yes.
Don't ever call me that again.
No, I will always call you that.
All right, Marcus Furberg versus Joachim Jonsson. One aggressive driver versus one very fast, high-angle driver. Well, this could be very interesting. I think that I think that Marcus Furberg in that Supra is going to have a tricky time keeping up. That's what I think. Those are my predictions. We'll see how he goes. Marcus Furberg leads this run. And I think that Joachim Jonsson is going to catch up, but cuts down on angle just a little bit to be able to keep that speed up.
Should be able to get on the door. No.
Yeah, he needs to. Goes off track just a little bit, dirt drops. Marcus Furberg looking strong.
He can pop through the smoke here.
Strong out in front. Beautiful stuff by Marcus.
Great.
Very impressed.
Great, yes.
Joachim Jonsson could not keep the composure there to keep close. And that's going to be detrimental to his progress here in the Gatebil Drift Series. This is where he needed to close the gap, and he could not. We might see the reverse of this when we switch places.
For those of you who are tuning in, welcome.
Welcome.
We're
Good to
happy
have you here.
Yes.
Good to have you here. It's always beautiful having more people to the party.
You know, you guys should light up that comment section.
Yes.
We'd like to hear from you.
Keep it lit. All right, here we go. Joachim Jonsson, Marcus Furberg. Joachim Jonsson leading, Marcus Furberg chasing, and I think we're going to see the reverse of the last battle here where, oh,
no,
Marcus!
Spins.
That is an incomplete.
Oh, he looks a little mad.
Oh, no. That is a surefire way to lose the battle. Very unfortunate. Let's see what happened here. I think he's just over-rotating, trying to slow down into the inside clip, or out to the outside zone 2 here. Yeah, just over-rotates.
For sure.
That is a bummer. Well, it happens. And Joachim Jonsson deserved that win.
The unpredictability of some of these battles are intense.
You have, I think we figured out like one run is about 20 seconds or so.
Okay.
So 20 seconds to make or break your weekend.
Right.
That is tricky. That is very, the margins are so small.
I guess that's competing in drifting. You focus for 20 seconds and
Yeah.
there you go.
Joachim Jonsson moves on in that gray BMW E92. See the last battle here for Örjan Nilsson and Odd Helge Hellstad. And now we're gonna see Örjan Nilsson in the battle against Joachim Jonsson. If we get everything right here. Just looking at some replays. until we get the final pair up. So tomorrow you're gonna drive just as much as you have been today?
Yeah, so basically I really want to focus on getting the lines of this track down. That way my lines with my drifting are better.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, I can initiate it. I can get through a corner, or I can link some parts of this track, but I really want to get the line down because that's what makes you or breaks you. And
I'd say I'm very impressed by your progress, never having driven this track before and going out and drifting it in 4th gear. That is impressive, I'd say. So I don't think you're going to have much of a problem doing it. It's just that you can always improve stuff.
Exactly.
You can always learn
Yes.
new things. And that's what's so beautiful with Gatebil is you can follow a Porsche down the track 1 lap, and then you're behind a drift car the 2nd lap. And it's like...
So unique.
It's
so
like
unique.
You can't do that at other places in
and
the world.
I think that's great practice. Yeah, sure, there's 20, 50 cars, but I think it heightens your senses, your awareness.
Oh, yeah.
You really pay attention to what's going on, but it also hurts you in the way that there's too much going on sometimes. I was trying to straight line drive, and there's so many yellow flags.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the speed. Yeah, I'm still hitting the rumble strips, that's fine, but speed on this track is key.
Yes, on any track, generally,
any track.
to get in the flow, and it's frustrating, it is, but that's also it's a double-edged sword because there are people who are maybe never driven their car before on a track.
Well, take me for instance.
Yeah.
I have a whole new setup pretty much.
Yeah.
I have a whole new beast. I have that Burt Warner came up and sponsored me with an EFR 8374 turbo. Last year I was pushing maybe 400. This year I'm between 500 and 700 depending on the little switch that I flick. So.
That's a lot.
A lot of power there.
Yeah. We'll come back to you just in a bit. We're going to go for a commercial break while we wait. See you in a bit.
All right.
Yeah, we're on. All right, we're back.
Welcome back, guys.
Let's see if we can get that final battle out. And after this, I actually heard something about they're gonna let, I don't know how to say this, like the regular attendees or the people who are not competing in any series here at Gatebil, they're gonna have them drive their cars on track if they want and qualify for a race.
What?
There are 2 slots open, I think, that they want to fill. So whoever you are, get in and
Wait a
drive your
second,
car.
which race is this? Is this the power slide?
No, I think it's the actual straight line race. They're doing the extreme race.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, super interesting.
It might get someone in the game, actually.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. That's, as I said before, that's the beautiful thing about Gatebil, because if you're a car nerd, you've never had a car yourself, and you're building your car, let's say you're 18 years old, you drive your car around for the streets from and to work, and you decide one day that, okay, I like motorsports, I may want to try this myself. Where can I do that? Okay, I'll go to Gatebil and I can just sign up with my whatever it is, literally whatever.
Whatever it is, as long as it runs and you pass tech, you're fine.
Yeah, so you can go in your stock beater and just have a blast. No complicated things. You'd have a little bit of safety just to keep you safe in the car.
Safety first.
Yeah, and then you're done. You can just go out and have fun. And you do it your way. You don't have to compete. You don't have to drive fast.
Nope.
You can do it, take it in your pace. So it's the beautiful thing about Gatebil that it caters to everybody. So it's, and now we've gone, Gatebil has always been this like Yeah, we're just having fun, it's chill. We're doing the Breslad, which is the power slide competition. That's the most like competition they've had for drifting. And now we're doing the extreme races. That has gotten a lot of prestige on the like regular time attack
this was
racing.
filled for that today.
Yeah. Norway loves that stuff, and I love it too. The cars are just insane.
No, the Lamborghinis. Oh,
yeah. I heard they had a crash actually.
One of them did, yeah.
Oh.
And then actually, was it the blue BMW?
Yeah,
came off behind him and actually hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a little sketchy.
Not great.
No,
not great.
But I guess there might have been some gravel on the track and just sent him straight off.
Something like that. That's unfortunate, but it's those things happen.
Yeah.
And no, but would you get to the level where we now have a super serious drifting competition as well, where we invite people from Norway, Sweden, everywhere in Scandinavia and the US and wherever you're from, you can come here and compete.
Now, to come here and compete, do you need to have some kind of championship on your belt, anything like that? Kind of, like to get into Pro 2?
Yes. For Gatebil Drift Series this year, you actually have to be invited. So you cannot just sign up, which you could do last year.
Yeah, and, which is why our field was so big last year.
Yes. Okay. And now we've narrowed it down, so we want a short, concise show where we just pick the best drivers, so we invite drivers and have them over here.
I think I like that.
Yes,
I like that. It's
absolutely.
Are we lining up over here? I see someone doing donuts in the donut box.
Yes, Örjan Nilsson and Joachim Jonsson.
Now I can see him. There he is.
This is going to be very interesting.
I'm really excited for this one.
Two very fast cars, been battling all day to get to this. This is the finals here at Gatebil Drift Series. First half of the final battle, and we are going to send them off. Örjan Nilsson is going to lead, Joachim Jonsson is going to follow. Who can do it better? Örjan Nilsson with a small, sizable gap, actually, getting into this whoop section.
It was a great initiation.
Joachim Jonsson going a little bit off track there.
Oh, tire down.
Örjan Nilsson running away, but going also off track. Oh no! Both drivers.
Oh.
Chaos reigns here at Gatebil Drift Series. Woo, wow.
Wow, Dennis.
Wow, that is not easy.
No.
Let's see in the replay here. Coming into the inside clip number 1, I saw that Joachim was a bit offline, drops one tire, but here in outside zone number 2, Örjan also drops a tire. Huge! Wow, he jumped with his car.
He did.
I could not see that from here. Wow, there might be some broken suspension parts actually in Örjan's car. And if I'm not mistaken, we were told that Örjan Nilsson took his 5 minutes.
So he doesn't have a 5 minute.
Yeah.
Even if he needs it.
But he's lining up, so he might be good to go. Oh, well, he has to. If he doesn't have a 5 minute, there's nothing he can do. He has to run the car.
That's what I'm saying.
Run what you brung. But we don't know that for sure, but I think it's that way. Let's see what they say.
Looks like they're running over the car right now, checking.
The priority is not if you can run the car. The priority is it's safe to run the car.
Yes.
That's what they determine if you are supposed to run the car or not, if you can or not, is it safe to have this car out on track? If you say, I can do it, that doesn't matter. We had that incident in Formula D actually where Christoph Loos was on jack stands and just drove off them before the 5 minute rule, and they deemed the car was not safe.
I think because he wanted to make it so bad. He was looking at the guy with the timer like, I will do
and
this.
And he had actually the potential to win that round.
He did.
But he took it this year instead.
So, all right, here we go.
The last part of this battle, potentially, Joachim Jonsson, early initiation, even before the second cone. Beautifully done, but Örjan is right there. Joachim Jonsson.
No.
Mistake from Örjan. Is this going to cost him this battle? It might have. Joachim Jonsson strong out there. Woo!
He shone bright.
Wow, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about the initiation.
Look at you.
Holy crap. Way before the 2 cones. Beautifully done. Pours it on all the way through. Can't see any big mistakes, but here Örjan straightens a bit. And that might be the end of him for this battle. Outside zone 2, nothing special. Pouring it on, just looking good. Oh, man. I'm gonna give Joachim Jonsson a high five so that he breaks his forearm. That was awesome.
So he can't drive tomorrow?
That was awesome. Great stuff.
Well deserved.
We're getting the information. We have a decision. We have a winner of this battle. So we're going to go to the prize ceremony later tonight. I think it's at 9 p.m.
Oh, it's a little later.
And,
right now, what time is it Norway time, Dennis? For
Norway
those back
time,
at home.
It's 18:44 right now.
Ah, okay.
So it's 7 p.m.-ish.
Okay.
15 minutes too. So in about 2 hours or so.
2 hours from now, we'll have our winner.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Let's see if we can actually have the cars down at the track and announce the winner, maybe.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think they might do
Are they
that.
going to do that?
I think they might be. People are just streaming to come down.
Oh, yeah,
now.
the migration
they need
has
water.
started.
They need water and food.
I'm right there with them.
Yes. Just look at a replay here for the battle. I think could be interesting to see what happened. Here's Örjan out in front. This is the first battle we're looking for, and let's see here where we go into the outside zone number 2. This is where it all goes wrong for Örjan Nilsen. His car jumps quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
That could not feel good in your driver's seat.
No.
Doesn't look good at all. Finished the run, but it's a huge mistake. Let's see here the second run. Joachim Jonsson with that huge lead. Look at that initiation now where he pulls the e-brake way before the cones there. Beautifully done, high on commitment. And there is where it goes all wrong again for Örjan, straightening in the inside clip number 1.
Do you think there was a technical problem?
Yes, I absolutely do.
It looked like it.
And that is uncharacteristic from Örjan driving that.
Hence why.
Girl of competition who is most tan when they get home. So they both have been standing, baking in the sun all day.
I just hope they're wearing sunblock, because some people don't understand. To get a tan, you do have to actually wear sunblock.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting where they brought the thing you spray the intercoolers with.
Yeah.
They fill that up with water to keep themselves cooled while tanning. So it's like you're
Should have brought my banana boat tanning oil from them.
You're going pro now.
Slap it on there.
So we'll see if we get the cars down here. Yeah, we are. Odd Helge Hellstad, Marcus Furberg, Joachim Jonsson, and Örjan Nilsen.
Rolling in hot.
These are all Norwegian drivers dominating the field here at Gatebil Drift Series. Yeah. I'm not that surprised, actually. The Norwegian driver have always been a level above the Swedish drivers for as long as I can remember. Yeah. Drifting has been way bigger in Norway than in Sweden. But
is that picking up, though?
Yes, that's what
it is picking up, okay.
Yes, exactly. What I'm getting to is that Sweden has actually improved light years. So now we're actually at the same level,
Great.
But we were outnumbered. I'm gonna blame it on that. So we had a couple of Swedish drivers, unfortunately, resigning from competition while at the event, but also before coming to the event.
Is that technical issues as well?
Yes, we have 2 guys who blew their engines. One of the guys who, the champion from last year, he blew his engine after 4 laps.
Oh.
Very unfortunate. Actually, some of his parts are in your car.
Shout out to him. Thanks, dude.
That's
my car is running solid right now, actually.
That's his VVTi that you're using right now.
We did have a little bit of problems with it, but we fixed it. My lovely team, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So it's good. I think half his car is actually lent out to people in the pits. It's like, I can't drive, so what's the point of...
No, but this is what I love about Norwegian car culture. You guys are just so giving and willing to help in any way you can.
Yes.
There's no outlandish form of jealousy or hate or...
Exactly.
Everyone just, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What do you need?
And it's not actually limited to Norwegian culture. It's drifting in general everywhere in the world. It's very
I don't know.
helpful.
America, I feel like we're a little bit more to ourselves.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yes and no, but we've seen in Formula Drift the highest level of competition where Chris Forsberg runs over and works on Christoph Blues' car and all that kind of stuff.
Those moments are very special.
Yes.
When they happen, it's like, get in there, do it.
Yeah.
I think even at some points, Frederick and I have just run over to the Pro 2 pits trying to help a few friends as well.
Yeah.
So, we really try and help where we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can do the price ceremony. We can hear over the PA system who gets the win, who walks out with the top spot.
I love that they're doing this on track.
Yeah, we usually do that for competitions in Scandinavia. We usually do it at the track, just as in FD, but then we'll actually hand out the prizes later at the after track.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to
so
be a
that's
show.
when the photo shoot is.
Yes.
And the podium and
Yes.
the girls
Yes.
and the nice little wreath they get.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
I actually was able to be a podium girl last year at Raskugan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I don't know if I'll do it again, but if they need me, sure.
It's nice being pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the Helge Hellstad in 4th, I think, is what I'm hearing from the PA. On the 3rd place is Marcus Fuberg takes home 3rd spot. Huge congratulations for Marcus Fuberg fans. The winner of this track and this race, the 2nd GDS in history, is Joachim Jonsen. Joachim Jonsen takes home the win with a well-deserved win.
Wow.
For that driving is phenomenal. So
Beautiful.
yes, that's the perfect word for it. And a huge congratulations to the 2nd place, Örjan Nilsson. Unfortunate with technical issues, but that's drifting and
Still an intense competitor.
Oh,
He
wow.
still gave it everything he
Yes.
had. He's a great, genuine guy. Happy to see him out there.
They have a lot of high fives just handing out now.
Oh,
here
I
in
know.
the
I'll
active
go give
bits.
him one when I see him.
And so I want to thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
This has been a blast. I'll be happy to do this again. I'll hope to bring you on more for this,
Anytime you need me.
which is all the time.
Aw.
So thank you for tuning in. It's been fantastic. Don't
Thanks,
forget
guys.
to share this stream. Like, you can watch this after the stream has ended.
Yep.
So share that so your friends at home who are doing other things, boo, but they're doing other things and they couldn't be here. So share it to them so they can watch this afterwards. And thanks to all our sponsors and everyone who's put up with this. It's been a hell of a lot of work getting this to work. And now we're finally here. We saw the beautiful battle of Joachim Jonsen and Örjan Nilsson. And taking the top spot is Joachim Jonsen. I bet he's pretty happy with that.
Oh, tremendously. And Dennis, Drift Zone, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Yeah, let's do this again.
So looking forward to tomorrow's track time, and we'll see you out there.
Yeah, see you there.
See you. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, guys.
Woo-hoo!